a college football coach at Oklahoma State, is accused of using the N-word at his players. I think people need to listen. That's a very serious accusation. Of course, we're talking about Mike Gundy. Now, if you recall, Mike Gundy has been a very successful college football coach and had a good football career, by the way, as well. He's been around a very long time. Back in 2007, Mike Gundy is known for this press conference where he defended one of his players after somebody in the media wrote an article about one of his players underperforming on the football field. Mike Gundy had his back, and I got to say, it was impressive. Have a listen to this. This is back in 2007.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid. Write something about me.
I'm a man who wears OAN. I'm a man who allegedly says the N-word to my players. I'm a man. Okay, well, I digress.
When did that happen, the N-word, Brian?
So we're going to talk about that coming up. That's why I'm setting it up.
Because I'm pretty sure it was 1989.
Okay, so I don't care if it was 1989 or 1915, quite frankly, but it's inexcusable. So Oklahoma State football coach Mike Gundy has posted an apology on Twitter this week. One of his players, dating back to that age, said that he called him the N-word. Now, he also used a shirt and wore a shirt, an OAN shirt. Now, here's the thing. If you want to defend players and you want to have the back of players like he did in 2007, then you probably shouldn't wear a shirt that says OAN.
Why?
I'm getting to that. There are a lot of African Americans that I speak with that have the same feeling. And that's why Donald Trump gets about 5 or 6%, I think, of the African-American vote, and I think that's what's going to happen in November, but that's another story. There are a lot of African-Americans that feel like OAN is the network, and by the way, they're right, that defends Donald Trump at every end.
Doesn't mean they're racist.
Didn't say that.
Okay.
Didn't say that. There are a lot of people that feel like OAN, and I would agree with them, is full of conspiracy theories, because they talk about those conspiracy theories all the time, and they have very little credibility. So if Mike Gundy is a fan of OAN, he shouldn't probably be wearing a shirt publicly, because I think it could piss off some of the players that play for him.
Wait. He wasn't in public. He was fishing with his sons, Brian.
So
he was fishing in his private life with his two kids.
So if I could,
and so Mike Gundy wearing an OAN shirt makes him a racist? No, it probably makes him a Donald Trump supporter. But then by that logic, if a player knows their coach supports Donald Trump, that they shouldn't play for him? Because that will eliminate sports, especially SEC sports. I can almost guarantee you every single SEC coach is a Donald Trump supporter.
Okay.
And if that's the case, then every single player in the SEC has I guess is completely reasonable in not playing for a coach because of their political beliefs. So you're telling me that African American players, if they don't support Donald Trump, they can refuse to play for coaches that are Caucasian if they do?
Okay, so let me respond to what you said, which is once again completely factual.
No, it's not at all, Brian.
Okay, can I finish?
Absolutely.
Let me respond to what you said, which is completely factually inaccurate. Did not call Mike Gundy a racist for wearing an OAN shirt. That is what you just said. I want to be very clear on that. That is not what I said. Once again, you're putting words in my mouth and you're making things up. I did not say that. Now, if it is true that Mike Gundy called one of his players the N-word, I don't care if it's 1989 or if it's 2020, I would call him a racist. And one of his players is saying that he did say that. So the football coach, Mike Gundy, posted an apology on Twitter this week. I think we should have a listen to this.
The apology came for wearing the OAN shirt and for offending some of his players. He has not, to my knowledge, apologized for allegedly using
I want to make
allegedly right after this comes out, right after the OAN situation comes out. So the timing is very coincidental, just like Tara Reid and Joe Biden, very coincidental. This happened 31 years ago, if it happened, assuming that it did happen. I really don't think that it did happen, but now, if he did actually say that particular word, then yes, he would be a racist. He would be labeled a racist.
So now, the accusation is coming from Alfred Williams, a former star linebacker at Colorado, and they were playing a game, and he claims that Mike Gundy called him an N-word.
Okay, so I think Mike is 52 years old. He's not very old, and if this happened 31 years ago, he would be actually playing. He would have been playing football. He wouldn't have been a coach at that point. In 1989, he was a player. He was not a coach.
All right, well, he's claiming.
Correct, when Gundy was a player for Oklahoma State.
Correct, yes.
Not as a coach.
I don't care whether you're a coach or a player. I don't care if you're 16 years old or 46 years old. When you use the N-word, you're a racist.
But you don't know that it's true or not.
Well, I wasn't there. I don't know. But why is he apologizing over OAN? I want you to listen to this. This is Mike Gundy. If he doesn't think he did anything wrong, why is he apologizing? He posted this apology on Twitter in regards to wearing an OAN shirt. Have a listen to this.
I had a great meeting with our team today. Our players expressed their feelings as individuals and as team members. They helped me see through their eyes how the T-shirt affected their hearts. Once I learned how that network felt about Black Lives Matter, I was disgusted and knew it was completely unacceptable to me. I want to apologize to all members of our team, former players, and their families for the pain and discomfort that has been caused over the last 2 days. Black lives matter to me. Our players matter to me. These meetings with our team have been eye-opening and will result in positive changes for Oklahoma State football. I sincerely hope the Oklahoma State family, near and far, will accept my humble apology as we move forward.
All right, so I'll say this. I give him credit for doing that. I will also say that if he's being honest and if he's being sincere, I also give him credit for that. Do I think he's a racist for wearing, as you said, for wearing an OAN shirt? Absolutely not. I haven't said that. If it's true that if he called somebody the N-word, and I don't know if that's true or not, then I would call him a racist. But I give him credit for listening to his players. Now, you could make the argument he's doing it to pander because he needs to recruit and he doesn't want his players to leave. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt on this one. I'm going to try to give him the benefit of the doubt. But if you wear a shirt like that, you should probably know what they represent. And these players are absolutely right. The OAN network has been completely unsupportive of the BLM movement. They have said nothing positive
that doesn't
about these
mean
protests.
that they think that Black lives don't matter, though. There is a major difference. I don't support Black Lives Matter, the movement, either, Brian. But I do. But I'm not apathetic, or nor do I think that Black lives don't matter. I believe that Black lives do matter, but I don't support the movement. And there is a major difference there in the United States. Right now, you're labeled racist if you support the Black Lives Matter movement, or if you don't support the Black Lives Matter movement. And I'm saying that I don't support BLM.
Okay.
But I do support African American lives, obviously, and I am not a racist. And I think OAN, in the same vein of things, does not, because the Black Lives Matter movement, they have deep ties to the Democratic Party. If you click donate on their page, it goes to actblue.com, which is an organization that donates to Democratic parties. They have one of the founders has declared herself to be a Marxist, which is the exact difference of capitalism. And I've seen violence originate from these things. So yeah, I don't support Black Lives Matter, the movement, but I do support Black lives, obviously. And right now, the biggest misnomer in America is that if you don't support BLM, the movement, that you don't. And also the fact that David Dorn wasn't mentioned by Black Lives Matter, the movement. What's going on in Chicago has not been mentioned by Black Lives Matter, the movement. So I don't support that, but I am not a racist. And what applies to me applies to hundreds of millions of Americans across the country right now.
Okay, so a lot to digest with what you just said. The Black Lives Matter movement is specifically in regards to police brutality.
No, it's not.
If I could just speak now. It's in regards to police brutality and the way that police treat minorities. Now, you could say it does not, but I've talked literally to hundreds of people that are supportive of the Black Lives Matter movement that are not causing riots and burning down buildings. They're not doing any of that stuff. And they tell me it's specifically about the way law enforcement treats minorities, and they want to be treated as equals. Now, I don't know how anybody in society today would not be on board with that. This has nothing to do. Now, obviously, any legitimate person will not agree with riots, with burning down buildings, with those that are instigators that are causing havoc. Nobody would agree with that. But the majority of the BLM protesters are peaceful. And the majority of the BLM protesters just want equality, and they want to be treated as equals. That is what the BLM movement is. Now, if you want to get into the weeds in how, some money might be thrown at Democrats and all that other stuff, I am specifically talking about the many good people in the BLM movement that support the major cause, which is not supporting Democrats, and it's not violence, and it's not throwing bricks at officers. It is specifically about being treated as equals and the relationship between minorities and law enforcement. I am on board with that cause, and I think we all should be on board with that.